All right, guys, welcome back. So weekly update for MicroStrategy. Market just opened Monday, January 13th. MSTR slightly, 5% down. So nothing surprise. Pretty volatile name. Bitcoin, on the other hand, it has been pretty much flushed as well, around all the way to 89, and it's just bounced 92K. That's where we are hovering around. So if we switch to daily chart of Bitcoin, you're going to see this basically area where it's been in how many times it has tested. Very first pretty big run, test this 92, 91 and something, and then goes to 100, comes back to this level, goes up, comes back to test this level, goes up. Now we're sitting right at that level of 92, 91, 500. So, and if I bring up moving averages, it is the 50-day moving average. So will this asset, will it hold here or will it crack below? We shall see. Overall market is pretty much in a fear. Overall, if you just take a look at the indices, S&P 500 pulling back as well from its highs, maybe 5%. NASDAQ is down as well. So also, if you take a look at the smaller cap names, risky names, risky stocks are pretty much selling off, including like Quantum and all those names. So are we going to see some sort of a relief bounce in general and overall market? Possible. But let's take a look at this filing. So in the morning, they pretty much increased their Bitcoin holdings and they dumped some shares last week. So from January 6th to January 12th, they dumped 710,000 shares into the market at open, whatever the price. So they raised 243 million, and they went ahead and bought Bitcoins with it, 2,530 Bitcoins. So their Bitcoin holdings are now total exactly 450,000 Bitcoins. Average price for their Bitcoins, 62,691, and they're saying that they can still dump 6.5 billion worth of shares, which they have been doing consistently every week. But for the last 2-3 weeks, this stock has been less volatile, and they were reducing the sales, but they're still selling because they don't want to dump too crazy. If they decide to dump, let's say 1 billion last week instead of 243 million, market maybe wouldn't have absorbed it nicely as it did, and it would have drove the price down. So what they're doing is pretty much anytime stock is pumping, any uptick, they're trying to sell. So you guys can see January 6th, stock was pretty much at these levels over 380. And of course, who else? A lot of people disagree with the dilution part of it. Well, these are the guys themselves putting pressure on the stock. So if you think that this is going to get going for the next 2-3 weeks, or maybe even up until they unload those 6.5 billion worth of shares, I don't see any reason this stock running away. Anytime Bitcoin upticks, they're pretty much overpaying for the Bitcoin and also dumping the shares. I guess it makes 1-to-1, right? I don't know. But again, I'm not really trading this name at the moment. I'm in a watch. This is on my watch list. See what happens with overall market, and pivotal level I have set for myself for this name is 286, which is last year's low where it closed closing price of 2024. So if it cracks this level, why not with Bitcoin? Again, I'm not saying that it's going to happen literally tomorrow, but if it does happen if it does trade below 286, and at the same time Bitcoin struggles with this 50-day moving average where it's hovering around right now, which is 92,600, 92,700. If it struggles with this name, I'm going to be watching BTC to possibly maybe fill this gap right here. We have a 78 to 80,000 or so Bitcoin gap when after election it pumps, and then 11th, 8th. So 8th of November, we had this gap over the weekend. So I'm going to be watching this level. Again, I'm watching futures. Again, this asset, of course, trades 24/7. That's why maybe I'm seeing a gap, because this is a thinkorswim platform. But even if that's not the case, I'm going to be watching 200-day moving average. And also the breakout area for this asset is 73K. Okay. We have overall market feeling like a risk off, considering where the dollar is. Look at the dollar. I mean, of course, if dollar pulls back, we can see Bitcoin rally right back up to 100K. But so far, it's getting stronger and stronger. Yields out there, bonds. If you watch bonds, I mean, bond yields going bananas as well. They have been rising, and it might go a little bit further, which might cause some sort of a flush down for BTC. But again, we will see. We have a CPI coming up this week, and we have earnings kicking in, and we have very large option expiration this week. So I'm not expecting too much maybe this week for MSTR, but to the upside, to get going, you need, of course, this name trade above these supply levels. But again, I think this stock is going to do a premium killing mode up until they dump all these 6.5 billion they want to dump and buy Bitcoins. And at the same time, option activity, since it's early, I mean, IV, yeah, it is high. I'm not looking at the put to call ratio, but put to call ratio, it's pretty much the same. And just from 2-3 hours of market open, pretty much half a day is gone. I can say that, I mean, option market is still in a milking mode, which means they're selling you puts, they're selling you calls. Look at the puts at delta between 0 and 20. 54% of calls volume right there. 54% of the put volume is right there. So which means people are in a selling mode. Look at the calls being bought at the asking price, only 16%. So there's no appetite. I mean, as a trader, it doesn't look attractive to me. But if you take a look at these candlestick formations, I mean, there are what we have. Let me show you this one actually. There are 13 candlesticks. Yeah. 5 bullish, 5 bearish, and 3 neutral. So based on last 3 trading sessions and today, well, neutrally bullish if it closes somewhere right here. But if it closes red, neutrally bearish, that's what it has been last 2 days. And we will see where it's gonna close and what BTC is going to do for the rest of the week. But so far, I'm watching this stock neutral to bearish if it cracks these $286 levels. So far, it can spend in this range up until option expiration. And if you take a look at, you can use maybe maximum pain. Let's take a look at that one. What's the max pain for MSTR for this very upcoming option expiration, which is very, very large for this name. And not only this name, many, many other names. So if you take a look at it here, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the volume outside of the money puts, 579,000. Look at outside of the money calls, 335,000. Look at in the money calls, 173,000 in the money puts. And then look at the following weeks for January, February, up until February 21st. But this is very, very large option expiration. But again, it says maximum pain is 225, but I don't think that it's going to close at that level. But so many options about to expire. And look at the notional value of the calls. Of course, you're not going to get picked. Of course, this stock will do the max damage, and it will try to close somewhere around these, wherever it's hovering around, 310, 320. Even if it closes at 350 this week, there's so many calls that were written, which means that were sold. Pretty much those people are going to let it go to zero. So that's what I'm watching for MSTR. Nothing crazy. They keep buying Bitcoin. They keep selling equity, and BTC is not doing anything because macro, we have overall pretty much market in a waiting mode. So that's the update for MSTR. Thanks for watching. If you're new, don't forget to like, subscribe, check the links below, follow my Discord and all that stuff for my trades and stuff. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.